Hey, what's up, guys? It's Renaldo here for the Truth Report. And today I want to talk about something of critical importance. Something that for too long has been treated like a local problem, when in actual fact, it's a massive issue in South Africa. And that, of course, is rural farm attacks and specifically farm murders, which for the longest period of time, the government has turned a blind eye to and acted like it's something that doesn't exist. In actual fact, our president in 2018 went onto the global stage and stated on Bloomberg that farm murders does not happen in South Africa and that there are no killings of farmers in South Africa. Now, this perception that was created by the president and the government of South Africa came to a screeching halt when the US State Department sent their Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, also known as DRL, to South Africa to actually come and investigate whether these rural farm attacks and farm murders was a serious crime and not just everyday crime. And ultimately, they came to the conclusion that indeed all of these things were happening because of the government's failure to take these things seriously and to act accordingly. The breakdown of law in this country is a clear indication that this is what they came here for and exactly what they found. In actual fact, their message is so clear that they stated the following: breakdowns in law and order are not conducive to growth or collaboration with the United States. That's right. Think about that for a second. This isn't just about human rights, it's about the very future of our nation's relationship with a global superpower. The DRL's report didn't mince their words. They came out quite unequivocally and stated that the South African government needs to speak and act clearly and decisively against farm murders, against rural farm attacks, and against crime in South Africa. They need to condemn the violence, is what the DRL in essence said. Now, the DRL's findings directly addresses the argument that these are just ordinary crimes that we've heard time and time again from our government. And I want to read the following. They explicitly state that these attacks display a distinct brutal pattern, and they also pointed to cases where victims were tortured or killed without anything being stolen. A grim detail that completely undermines the claim that poverty is the only motive, and that is according to AfriForum, which is the source to that. And also, the biggest thing that came out of the DRL's investigation in South Africa was the fact that they referred to a specific incident in 2023 where people were chanting "kill the boer, kill the farmer" whilst they were stabbing the victims. And then, of course, they also speak about the broader aspect of this, of how slogans like "kill the boer, kill the farmer" is being sung by political leaders in South Africa, specifically people that are members of parliament in South Africa. Now, many will come out and say, oh, the DRL's report is exaggerated and it's not truly reflecting what is actually going on in South Africa. Well, let me read the following to you. The DRL's own research based on statistics from the South African Police Service found that there were 296 farm attacks and 49 murders in 2023. The number of murders then increased to 55 in 2024. These are statistics that we just can't ignore, but yet our government is consistently turning a blind eye. Now, after all of this came to light, of course, News 24 had to come out with an article in which they try and debunk this DRL's visit to South Africa, and in essence saying that the US State Department doesn't know what they're talking about. Now, of course, the following is my opinion, but I'd like to raise some questions with regards to this. So, News 24 comes out and talks about how they do not have all the facts, even though they are actually using the South African Police Service's statistics. And then further, as is always the case with these debunking articles, they get a lot of things wrong. This will now be the third time that Andrew Thompson from News 24 has tried to downplay Julius Malema's role in the farm attacks and the farm killing notion becoming acceptable. The latest of which in this article is which he states that Julius Malema doesn't really have influence and doesn't create policy formation. But that is complete and utter nonsense. It's quite clear that mainstream media is on the side of the government and would rather tell lies than be honest to South Africans and also the international community. Now, this international attention is a massive step forward. It gives voice to the voiceless and shines a light on a crisis that has been downplayed and ignored for too long. Now, the fact that an international government bureau is confirming exactly what a civil rights organization and AfriForum has been saying for years. This is massive because mainstream media has consistently tried to belittle, insult, and attack civil rights organizations in South Africa that speaks out against rural farm attacks. And here you have an international bureau that came to South Africa, did their own investigation, and found exactly what AfriForum and other civil rights organizations have been saying for years. So ultimately, who is to blame here? The time for denial is over. The time for empty promises and silence by the government is over. The United States government has now weighed in and made this a topic of discussion in South Africa. And it's time that our government, as well as mainstream media, starts paying attention to all of this. It's a wake-up call to our leaders to protect all of their citizens, not just some of them. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please be sure to smash the like button, share this video far and wide, and don't forget to subscribe to The Truth Report. Thanks for watching. I'm Renaldo Gouws, reporting for The Truth Report.